Hi everyone, I'm Rebecca Keppel. I'm here today with a couple of new cards. These feature a dry emboss, Distress Oxide inked background to create lots of texture and color. So let's get started. First I have a couple of Sizzix Tim Holtz alterations. These are Tim Holtz's embossing folders. They're very cool. They come in lots of different textures. They create tons of texture on card fronts, and I use them, but I've never really inked over them that much. So I thought I would cut them out and then emboss them on Strathmore Bristol smooth surface cardstock. So I'm going to set up my Sizzix machine with my embossing platform. I have a cutting pad on the bottom, and then I'm going to put a piece of cardstock inside the embossing folder, and then I'm going to put a cutting pad on top and run it through my Sizzix machine. And that's all you have to do to create lots and lots of texture, and you could just use it like this. So I'm going to use the other Tim Holtz texture folder that I have, and this one I think has dots. But of course, because it's Tim Holtz, it's just a cool texture that it creates. It's not completely standard dots throughout. It's kind of like grungy and a little bit just fun and different. Okay, so to color these textured card panels, I'm going to use Distress Oxide inks. And for this one that has the dots, I'm going to create a rainbow effect. So I have a Roy G. Biv of Distress Oxide inks, kind of the bright colors, but the brighter, rich colors, I guess. So I decided that I'm going to have 3 colors on the top half of the card and 3 colors on the bottom half. And I am using a mini round blending tool to just put this color down on the card panel. You can see there's some blending in between where the 2 colors overlap. And so now I'm going to get started on my second panel. For the second panel, I wanted to do something different. And since the first one was kind of horizontal lines across, I thought I would do vertical lines up and down. And I would have a really wide band in the middle. That's the twisted citron. Then I went in with cracked pistachio on either side, and then I did the edges in peacock feathers. I think this is my favorite color combination. I absolutely love this. It reminds me of summer and the pool. Now I'm going to cut these card panels down. Instead of 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, I'm going to do them to 4 and 5 1/4. Now I have a mini mister and some perfect pearls. I put the perfect pearls in the mini mister with some water, and I'm just going to spray this card panel, not the rainbow one. So you can see it adds a lot of shine and also helps blend out those colors even further. I'm using a Memory Runner XL to adhere the rainbow card panel down to a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inch piece of Gina K Designs black cardstock. So I like the way that looks, and I thought this looked kind of like a Lego piece, though I thought it would be a really fun birthday card. So I used some Simon Says stamp glitter cardstock and a Poppy Stamps die, and I cut out the happy with some Thermoweb iCraft adhesive, the Easy Cut adhesive, which is a thin double-sided adhesive that you can apply to the cardstock before you die cut it. Okay, the only problem with this is that the thin adhesive has trouble sticking to ink. It does fine paper to paper, but I put a ton of ink on this and it may not be 100% dry. So I'm really pressing down with my bone folder to make sure that that adhesive adheres even on top of that inked panel. Okay, and now I'm going to put that whole panel on top of a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inch top folding note card. That first note card, I got some ink on the edge because I'm touching all of this wet ink and then going in and touching white cardstock. So not super, super smart. Now I'm going to use some Tonic Studios Nouveau Crystal Drops. These are the silver. And I'm just going to put a couple in each corner there, and that completes that card. So for the second card, I'm going to use a Poppy Stamps Hello die. It has kind of the halo or shadow and then the really fine script. So I used the Simon Says stamp glitter cardstock for the hello and then some black cardstock for the shadow. I'm going to adhere the embossed and inked card panel down to some Gina K Turquoise Sea cardstock. And then I'm going to use some foam tape to pop up that scented sentiment. And just going to put some thin strips on each letter just so that the entire sentiment stays popped up even through the mail. I'm going to use the same Tonic Studios Nuvo Crystal drops to create some silver dots. And then I'm going to adhere this whole thing to a top folding 4 1/4 by 5.5 inch top folding note card. And that is it. Super, super quick and easy to create really textured backgrounds with lots and lots of color. Of course, those colors can be any colors of inks that you have. You don't have to use Distress Oxide inks. They just happen to be my favorite for creating backgrounds. If you're interested in any of the supplies I used today, they will all be linked down below. You can subscribe to my YouTube channel so you can be the first to see my videos as they come out. Check out my blog for more information, and I'll have a couple of videos here that you might be interested in, including some Distress Oxide videos. I want to thank you so much for stopping by today. Have a wonderful day.